welcome to Classic and Retro, and welcome back to the Rover P6 project. Now, it's been really popular on the channel since I posted that first video, and I've not really had time to do anything on it, but that's going to change today. As you can see, we're in his work clothes. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and check out some of the previous videos, including the intro video on this, to see where we got it from and why. Today we're going to be stripping off a lot of the damaged panels and getting as much of the damage off as we can: bumper, bonnet, wings, front valance, etc. And we've got a few new parts to just put in place for now, just to see what we've got and get it ready to go to our house in the next couple of weeks, where we can start replacing all the front panel. So let's not mess about. We're dodging raindrops today, let's just get it done. First thing we're going to do is get this bumper off, held on by 2 bolts that go up into the middle bumper irons and 2 that go onto the outside that hold the fog lights on. I think they're all 1/2 inch and 9/16, so it should be fairly easy to do. We're going to save the overriders off here. They're pretty good. It's a shame about the bumper because it looks mint. They held on with 1 9/16. You basically just unwind that. So that's like that. And then the overrider just tilts down. You can take the bracket out, that spreads it. And then the overrider just pulls down. That's your overrider off. This bumper's definitely scrap, but the overriders I think will go again. You can see why the bumper's scrap. It's the first bit off. Next we'll do front valance, headlight surrounds, etc. Now, if I remember right, these used to be held on with like screws, but someone's put 10mm in them, which is fine, it's no bother. We'll probably put big Phillips screws back in them when they go back together, because that's just how they should be. But obviously these ones are dead, we've got new ones. We'll try and keep as many of the bits together as we can. Like I say, today is mainly just about removing as many damaged parts as possible, figuring out exactly where we're at with it. So I mean, obviously that's dead, so that's that side. As you can see, this front panel's taken a real hit, but we've got an idea for that, so we'll work on that later. For now, just need to get the damage off. So that's the 4 screws that hold them on, keep them safe. So the front valance, you don't know if you'll be able to see, it's held on there with some big Phillips screws, one either side. So if we can get those off, we're going to have to take 1 bumper iron off, because otherwise it won't come past it. So we'll take this one off. And then there's usually a couple of bolts that go in from the wing as well, down there. But yeah, the next job is to get this front valance off, then we'll look at the headlights. I thought that was going to be a nightmare, but that's just come straight out. I'm pretty happy with that. That's the kind of screw that I think should be up here. So we'll try and get some more of those. That should be fairly loose now. Look at that one. There you go. And again, same on this side. If this one comes out that easily. Oh, get in. Right. I love this car. That's those out. Now, obviously, I don't want to leave the fog lights just dangling. They're not actually plugged in for some reason. The wiring goes up and into the engine bay. I've traced it through. We just need to cut a little cable tie that's holding it together. We'll be able to get those out. Just like that. So nothing wrong with them, they just want connecting up, so we'll do that later. Next, we need to get this bumper iron off. The only way to get this off is from behind. There's a bolt from behind that just goes onto it. I believe it's a captive, but we'll find out together. It certainly is. This one's not coming out quite as well, mainly just because it gets obviously all the road dirt, so it's going to be a little bit more of a mission to get that one to come out, but we're nearly there. I can remember when I had my first one of these, when I was like 14, every single bolt was rusty, everything I tried to undo snapped or was seized, or there we go. It was a real like baptism of fire for classic cars, but yeah, bumper iron. So you won't be able to see, but behind this seam there's two 10mm bolts that hold the valance onto the wing. They need to come off. Right, so there's the plate. That goes in the front valance, slides in, and then these two clamp it to the wing. So that's them out, so there should be nothing holding that valance on now. Just like that. What should we do next? Headlights? Yeah, let's do headlights. Headlights should be fairly easy. We've actually got all brand new ones, all four, even though there's nothing wrong. So you have 3 Phillips screws on the actual trim ring. You don't need to take those out. You just slacken them a couple of turns, like that. And the trim ring turns and actually goes over the heads of the screws that you've took out. Like that. And that one's slightly bent, that's why it's not coming out. Like that. So then, once the trim ring comes off, you're left with the headlight, and you literally just unplug. So we're going to take it all off because we need to be working on that. Right, so we've got to get the radiator out, but the problem is the whole front panel is pushed back. You can see it's like lifted up and it's pushed back. Now, I've got a plan for this, and I'll put the photos up now. So yeah, in the recently closed down Lewisham scrapyard there was a P6. Now although it's a 4-cylinder, I think we can mix and match a front cross member and make something work. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cut through here, and I'm going to cut through here and remove the whole front of the front panel. That'll relieve a lot of stress on the radiator. It'll let me get the radiator and the fan off. I think I've spied a bit more damage behind there which needs sorting, so we'll be able to have a look at that as well. But yeah, I mean this is unusable anyway, so the big thing is going to be to just get that off. So because of how bent the radiator is, we're going to have to drop the cradle off that goes underneath it in order to get it out. I've taken all the top mounts off and it is loose, but it won't come up. So 2 bolts on this side, 2 bolts on that side. The bottom cradle will come out and then the radiator's got no choice but to fall out basically. So we'll get that done next.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's made a real mess of the fan, so definitely going to need a new one of those. I can't see any more damage behind there, but we will obviously check everything out. Looks like the fan's taken the worst of it. Alternator pulley got a big bend in it, so we need to have a look at that. The main chassis legs look absolutely spot on both sides. The bumper irons are still exactly where you'd want them. Now that the front panel's been put, you can see how much movement this has got in it, so getting this back into line shouldn't be too bad, but we have obviously got the one off the donor car, so it shouldn't be too bad. I think the power steering pump survived, looks like it has, so we'll get the radiator off, get the fan off, and then move on to the bonnet. These are the power steering cooler lines, so sorry, auto box cooler lines. So when we get a new radiator, we need to make sure that we get an auto box one, because obviously the manual ones didn't have these two pipes. Radiator does look pretty much identical, but apart from that, right, so that's the radiator off. This radiator is completely scrap. There's nothing on it that we can save. Might save these sidebars, but I doubt it. But yeah, that's dead in every way, so definitely going to need a new radiator. Now that's off, we can see where the Kenlo plugs in, which is just there. So we should be able to get that out as well. There we go, that's the Kenlo out. There we go, that's that off. I've noticed the water pump pulley is actually rubbing on the water pump, so that's obviously bent. We need to get that off as well. As usual, GoPro batteries died, so we're back to trusty phone. Water pump's now off. It was C-solid, it had pushed it through, so it wasn't spinning. Everything's very, very clean in there. So that's that off. I don't think there's anything else damaged in this area that I need to take off. The next thing I want to do is take off probably the bonnet, get that swapped, and yeah, so having worked on this car today, it is a lot more damaged than we thought it was. I do think this car's going to have to go and get jigged. I'm not going to give up on it, but it is a lot bigger project because I've seen this. It's actually creased in. So the only way I can see around that is, obviously we're going to take this off anyway, take this off, and then the box section that comes out there is going to want all the spot welds drilling out, and it's going to want this pulling out, which will either need to be done on a jig or with a slide hammer, and then a new one of these, which I'm not even sure you can get, I don't honestly know, so I need to look into that. This side doesn't seem bad, this side all seems to be where it wants to, although there is, looking at it now, a small dip down there, and I'm not sure if that dip down should be there or not. So if not, that side will want doing as well. So yeah, a lot more work than I thought, but we're not giving up on it. Still worth doing. So the next job is going to be swap the bonnet, and yeah, I think that'll be pretty much it for today. But yeah, let's get that done. Bonnet's easy. So bonnet is literally 4 30mm bolts and the washer pipe, and the bonnet will come off. So yeah, fairly easy job. We need to replace the bonnet catch though, because I've seen on the new bonnet that there isn't a bonnet catch, so we'll reuse this one, although it looks a bit seized. Oh no, it's not bad actually. So yeah, we'll unseize that at some point soon. Let's get this done. Right, so that's about as much as I think we can get done today. We've kind of exposed all the really bad damage. Obviously we found a bit more than we'd like, so we need to look into his options for that. We're going to have to take all this stuff out. I'm not even sure what some of this is. It's very aftermarket. Shouldn't have that expansion tank, I don't think, either, so we'll try and get rid of that, I would have thought. We're going to put the new bonnet on it for today, and we're going to hang the second-hand wing that we've bought for it, just to keep it together and make it look nice and complete. Obviously we've got a lot of parts everywhere, as you can see. Some of it's scrapped, some of it isn't. We'll tidy all this up now and have a think about what we're going to do. So it's gone a little bit further than we'd like, but we don't like giving up on things, so if we can make it work, we will make it work. So with that being said, yeah, that's about it for this one, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing. Comment down below what you think we should do, what you think about the damage, any ideas, options. We're all ears. We do need to get it sorted, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.